Mike O'Mara Radio Entertainment. Available on demand every day in iTunes and the Google Play Store and around the world on MikeO'MaraShow.com. What more can we do for you? It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
So technically, just so I don't feel racked with guilt here, we tape the bonus show after one of the shows during the week, and we say we'll take 10.
Right.
And we've technically taken more than 10.
Oh, yeah. I would say probably closer to a dozen, cousin.
Yes, 12 to 15 minutes.
Right
and,
on.
And his ability to not
He has
be
a
punctual,
name. He has a name.
This guy that we work with,
Okay, O'Reilly.
this guy that we work with, is he in the building?
Well, he didn't
Oscar
leave the
in
building. He did not
He
leave
just
the
walked
building.
in.
He just walked in.
All right. Sometimes you just don't like waiting for him anymore.
No. Well, that's his...
How many minutes, seriously, of my life in the last 10 years
A lifetime.
would be spent?
A lifetime. The lifetime of a child.
Sorry, Oscar, we just started.
Hi, guys.
But he
who's
doesn't
here.
care if we start, so I'm okay.
No, he's
doing it.
okay.
No. Look, I was in a meeting with a client, and I said I have to go upstairs. I'm sorry, I'm doing a show, and and he looked at me. He said, "With who?" I said, "Mike O'Mara," and he's like, "Don and Mike O'Mara?" I said, "Yeah," and he's like, "Go do it," and I walked out.
Mike, the client was Luke Hatz.
And by meeting, they were there. I just had walked in and just said hello.
Down in the
and then I got
second
pulled, I got pulled
floor?
into the
You
office.
are the multitasker.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
But we were talking about ringing that same bell of waiting for you because we say take 10, and it was 12 or 15 and stuff. And I just
But you know who you are, Mike?
I wanted to start the show.
You're the unitasker because when you're asked to do more than one thing, you know what happens.
Yeah, let me get that box, Carl. I'll do that right now. Jesus! Jesus! Open the door. Open the door. You're right. You're right.
You're
I'm
a unitasker. Yeah.
I am
Not a
terrible
eunuch.
at multitasking. Not a eunuch.
A unitasker.
A unitasker.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because I don't do well when I don't. And by the way, moving out of this house, it's just really fun as I'm doing this show to watch boxes going by held by my wife. You do all of that you want. There you go.
What have you started by boxing up?
Pictures on the wall.
Okay, but not the pictures in your studio because I still see the lovely picture of us.
The studio is going to be the last thing to go. And
to go.
There's every chance that I will be starting the week next week in a new location, but I'm not sure. I want to find that desk. I want to find that desk with the furry thing in the middle that you put cables down. That's what I'm looking for.
The last thing you pack up.
You don't need to come down here. I'm going to be like,
machine.
there's so little equipment required now to do what we do.
Yeah,
I'm not particularly
worried.
What
What about the standing?
I'm not standing. I'm not going to stand.
But you can't stand or sit because sitting is the new cancer.
I don't want.
Hold it. Don't let that go by. What did he just say?
Really? He says being sedentary is difficult. I spend at
you
least
can cure
5
cancer.
hours. I spend at least 5 hours of my day on my feet.
Yeah.
The rest of the time I'm sitting.
But if you wanted
with
to
the
stand,
golfing and the painting,
If I wanted to stand, I hate it. I hate standing. I will die earlier because I like to sit.
Okay.
I like to put my ass on a chair. And by the way, I'm like other fat people that there was a lady at a function that I was at that could not find, and she looked at me. Where was I? All right, hold on. Let me think of my memory banks right here. Where did this happen? Where was I waiting? I was waiting for something, and a lady came by, and I did not offer my seat. No, but it was a lady who wanted to. I got it. All right. Miramar Outlets, Southwest Florida.
Ooh.
Stop by and get yourself a deal this time of year. You'll do really well.
Sure, clearance.
Carla goes to get the car, which is 2 miles down on the other side of this outside walking mall, the one you have in Leesburg, very similar to that type of layout.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I take the little man over to the playground. They have a playground with like a rock wall, and I take him over there. And there is a couple sitting on a bench, and there's a big, wide amount of space on that bench that has my name on it, and I go over there and I park it. Right. And then another fat old lady shows up and is looking at the bench as though she says, "Why are you there, you younger people? I'm going to sit there and I'm not budging."
Ballpark her age. Not her weight.
48.
So
49.
not that old.
Rob's age.
Younger than me.
Yeah.
Than me. And I'm sitting there,
Thank
and
you.
I'm like, no, look, he's climbing all over monkey bars. He has bumped into another 6 or 7 year old, so he is tearing all over there.
Sure.
Happy as a pig in shit.
Aw.
So
Right.
he's fine with that. And so I'm sitting there, I'm not moving.
No.
And she gets over there, and I hear and I'm like, sigh all you
Yep.
want. I am sorry. I like to park my ass there. I don't want to stand, and I certainly don't want to be the skinny dad with the buzz cut on the side and the poofy hair on the top,
Like he
which
could
is
still,
just the same as
like
a
he could
fucking
still,
man bun.
He could still procreate if he wanted to.
He could, and he's on the monkey bars, or he's
No,
on
you're gonna
the
let you're gonna let that
Yeah,
slide.
do you ever see the dads that do that?
Of course,
right?
yeah.
That climb on the equipment.
Yeah.
Oh, you're just so
Yeah.
hero and fit.
Let's
Fuck
see how
you.
fast we can make this merry-go-round go. Well, fuck you.
It's like I'm sitting there chilling. If
Yeah.
the people to the next, if the
That's
couple-
why there's a bench there.
If the bilingual couple to the right of me wish to engage in conversation, more than happy to.
In
But
German?
really, for now, I can say, it may have been German.
Yeah, Germans love malls like that.
It may,
And they love Florida.
They do. It's like, mich to be the coach purse? Ach du lieber. The headphones from Bose? That's a discount of 20%? Eich!
yeah, I think they do. I think we can probably find a bunch of them out there right now.
Yeah.
My God.
I should take a DAT recorder over there right now and go, hi. But anyway, so.
Do you like my
to-
sandals with my socks? I am finding Parkins.
I'm taking this chair. See that lovely lead?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'm taking that over to the new digs, and I'm going to sit, and I'm going to get a table, a sitting table, and I'm going to do it so eventually we can get other chairs.
And but
around.
can I? This is.
How
Can
about I do
Can I
this?
send you a
don't need to
link? Can I
come
send?
down
Can
here.
I send you a Walmart link for the table you should have?
Yeah,
And have
absolutely.
you sent me the dimensions of the space that you said you were going to send me over
There's
the break?
3 of them.
Haven't decided on the space yet.
Oh!
Damn!
Big debate.
Damn! Don't do it in
Big
the hallway.
debate.
He mentioned the hallway. Don't do it in
Don't
the
go the
hallway.
hallway. Don't do it in the kitchen.
All right,
There's a
so
walk
the
through.
house,
I was like, don't
the house,
walk.
the house that we are moving to has in it right now what would be best described as a den. Like
Okay.
this, but only bigger. The debate is
What is the
will
shape
that
of it? Is
be,
it rectangular? Perfectly rectangular?
maybe a little-ish,
Octagon.
Because
but it's got a pass-through to the kitchen and to the hallway. So it really doesn't, unless I'm going to construct doors and go through that,
no.
I'm not
that's,
sure.
If it's got
No.
open passageways, that's not good.
Yeah, and
That's
then
not good at all.
even if you put a barn door up, as
Barn!
that was mentioned to me as well on a private phone call that I'm sharing with the world now.
Yes.
That barn door is too expensive to deal with, and it
All
will
right,
let
then I can
sound
tell you where
pass
I'm going to
through.
be. I'm going to be in a sound-isolated, carpeted room.
Yes,
That's going to be perfect. And I
Has
will
it a
give you
window?
You know what? I will give you the specs on that
The Dems.
today.
because I can cat it out for you and be like, this is okay. I'll go to Walmart.
Why don't
I'll
we
click,
do it
I'll
that
click
way?
through our link or
Let's
Target,
do it that way.
and then we'll see what happens.
Let's do it that way.
Is there a window?
And then I will stay here until we're ready to go with that.
Done deal.
And I can do it. I'm not worried anymore with this type of way we
He's
do
done
these
it.
things.
He's done
that
it.
I can
Isn't
handle
little
it.
Mike like he can use a little
He
screwdriver?
can
right?
crawl
Yeah,
down
he
there.
can
Yeah,
build.
he can crawl
Sure.
down and
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Burrow.
But the only thing I want is I want to have the option. So when you two decide to take a little FLA vacation,
Yes.
that there's a chair for you and a chair for you. So maybe 2 other chairs besides me.
Okay.
I love it.
And if I want to have people come from Cocoonville to
Yeah.
drop by, because I think that you can look forward to that in 2020.
Are you
Interviews with old men.
Are you
That's
open
going to be a feature.
to a headset option where your guests wear headsets with mics attached to them?
Yeah, I could do that.
'Cause
It's
if you
absolutely
would-
easier for him.
Pony and Maddie both wear headsets with mics,
Yeah.
and they sound dynamic.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. I'm 100% fine with that. Put it on. It's one less thing to worry
Yeah,
about.
because then
and
you don't
it's
have
just
one.
sitting there.
Everything's connected at
1,000%.
one wire.
No mic stands?
1,000%.
Yeah,
We're
but
now we're
do
doing,
you-
and
but
I
do-
like having these meetings when we're on
Do
the
you
air.
want that
Where I would do a show like that?
with a headset?
I'd have to. If we get 3 of them down here, I would be willing to test it out.
However,
They're
Mike,
very
you are
expensive.
they're expensive, and you know what?
Very expensive.
One of your great talents is using your mic technique,
Yeah,
to
frankly,
bring-
I like what I have right here.
bringing
I think you
characterizations
should
to life.
have that. I think you should have that.
I
Then-
don't.
Then I will not be. 2 is fine. But I'll try it, and if I like it, I'll
Well,
use that
probably
one too.
one because they're pretty expensive. There's a budget involved.
How much are they?
Each one of these guys is roughly $600.
Yeah, okay, we'll get one.
One works.
And maybe not even one.
We don't have a donate button anymore, do we? All right.
No.
Anyway,
Mike, I should just preface this. And I don't want to shoehorn this, but this is out of the blue. And maybe you've mentioned this between the break and I was here.
What's that?
As you know, that Ethan Sands, one of our former interns, is here and in the house.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And he's desperately trying to get into the studio to say hello.
Why does he want to come on?
It was such a great moment between the shows where he was outside in the hallway trying to use the keypad to get in. And I let him in, and he said,
all right, bring him in, and let me look at him. Let me look at him.
I want to eyeball him?
He said, you're not using the keypad anymore? I said, no, we switched to fobs. He said, why? I said, a lot of old interns stopping by.
That was cruel.
That was
very cruel.
It was just, just a little offhand.
Let's bring in young Ethan.
Yes.
Who visited with us very briefly, and he has returned. Look at you. Look at you, all grown up. All grown up right now with a new hairdo and everything. How are you, Ethan?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Yes, I like the new do. I like it an awful
What's
lot.
with the upside down Nike swoosh? Is that like a Satan thing?
No, definitely not.
It's fashion.
Is it fashion?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's fashion forward, Rob,
Okay.
not fashion backward.
I understand.
It's a duo. There's a duo.
I had never seen an upside down logo before.
It's
like
a
that.
regular Nike logo.
Swoosh.
That's what it is.
It's the swoosh.
Ethan, how are you?
I'm doing great, Mike. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Where are you now in your world?
life.
Are you back at school in life? Do you have a girlfriend? Are you out of school? Are you in school?
Are you
have
still
you started
into-
your own company? Have
Into
you
broadcasting? What's
are
the
you
latest?
Still politically active? Are you? By the way, Ethan, there's an old organization that people should be aware of that was active back in, I believe, the 70s. They were very well done. And Ethan has resurrected them. They are, you might be familiar with this organization. They're known as the Black Panthers.
Yes.
And Ethan has actually, yes, there's the symbol, that Ethan has started his own chapter at his, no, I joke. Ethan, how are you? Are you back at school?
Yes, sir. I'm back at Ohio University.
Wonderful. And what brings you to our nation's capital, Washington, D.C.?
Well, you guys know I'm not that far down the road in Ellicott City, so I just decided I'd come say hi to you guys. I missed you a little bit.
You're on break?
God bless
Can't
you,
say
young
hello?
man.
Good man. Good man.
You have to know that there is nothing that I like more than when interns come back to visit, because it means they had a good experience
right.
when they were here. It's good to see you. And well, what's new in your life? Are there any new?
No. But what is new? I'm actually a producer of a TV show for high school basketball coverage in my college.
Oh, so
Look
the
at
broadcast
this.
thing is going.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Nice.
sir.
The broadcast thing is going. That's awesome. A television producer.
Of course. Got to
Well,
be
then-
well-rounded.
Oscar,
Do
how many video projects do we currently have at the Village? How
Working
many
as
are
we
we
speak,
Yes.
more than 20 easily.
More than 20
Yes.
programs.
And
it's humming. Keep Ethan in the pipeline for when he gets out of school.
Mike O'Mara is something of a noted basketball expert, and he has video capabilities at his home. This might be a good chance to book him for your show.
My son wants to play basketball. And I said, he's going. They project him to be 6'1" or 6'2", which in modern college, the college ranks of basketball is not necessarily.
Well, Mike,
optimal.
I want to give you a little update.
Yes.
My doctor said I was going to be 6'2". I'm 5'8", so I don't know.
Yeah, but you're not dead yet.
I'm also not 21 yet, so
Yeah,
we got a couple more.
Do you think that is BS when they talk about that? When
I do.
When a kid's like an infant and they
I do.
project.
No, it's
They're
not.
hyping
no,
you up.
no, it's not. No,
Because my
it's-
doctor said I was going to be obese.
Oh my goodness.
So, I mean, you
You've
can't
done
find
that to yourself.
His weight is in the 100th percentile.
Wait, 125th.
The 125th percentile.
Robert has exceeded. Robert for right now. Robert is nearly 6'5". He crested 6'4" already, and he's still on
Has
his way.
he crested? He's taller than 6'4".
He is over 6'4" now. So
what was his height growing up? Was he in the high percentile?
he was always in his high percentile, but the doctor had him at like 6'1" or 6'2", and they've already missed it by 3 inches. That's a lot.
We've had your mom on the show, Ethan, and is she tall? Is your mom?
No,
tall?
my mom's 5'4", but every guy in my family is above 6 foot.
Oh, his pops is tall.
My dad's 6'3". My uncle's
So
6'2".
do you think the ship has sailed on any chance? I mean, what is
Do you
the
regret
latest?
the smoking now?
On record, I've never done
What
that.
about the vape?
I know. It's a joke.
Did the
It's a
vaping
comedy
stop
show.
your growth?
What is
that?
You two are horrible. What is the latest that a growth spurt technically can occur?
21.
How? 21?
Yeah,
And how old are you now?
20.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Here it comes.
There's a chance. It's slim.
There's a
slim.
hey, it happens.
It does.
Sometimes it happens. It's like, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's
Mike,
awesome.
Mike, I have
Yes.
a question, if you don't mind. And this
right
is
ahead.
actually personal, Ethan, so feel free to regret coming in today.
Oh, God.
Already happened.
You should know that I sent out a bat signal to the entire organization once you texted me saying I'm coming in. I said, what time? And I sent to everyone in at Podcast Village. I said, All-Star intern Ethan Sands will grace us with his presence tomorrow morning. And I got nothing back, which usually means, all right, Ray, okay.
Right.
Because there could be an emoji fest that happens, and you're like, oh, people might. So you've made a great impression. You continue to do so.
Okay, so you're
I
telling me that
appreciate
when
it.
you send out an email like that, if you get like devil horns
Yes.
or you get thumbs down, would there be? Well, since you brought it up, Oscar,
Yes.
and since this is the bonus show, uncensored, as you remember, Ethan, I will
Oh,
tell
it
you.
is uncensored.
This is uncensored.
Have there been interns where you have announced that an intern is coming in for a visit where you've gotten a different response? There, I'm putting that in your corner.
In my corner?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually the interns that try to come back, I say maybe not today. Friday's a better day when I know they'll forget to write back. So this is the one time I know.
I can cite one example.
Yes.
Okay,
Is,
yeah, please.
Friday might be a better day, Toddy, because Santana Moss doesn't record on Friday.
Well, he never forgets to write back.
Oh, Toddy always writes back, and often.
And we don't make a big announcement. So as soon as I saw that that no one was doing any shtick, I was like, all right, he's made a good impression. He's coming back. There was one aspect of your internship that still haunts some of our team members.
Haunts? Would you call
Now
it a
we're
haunting?
talking.
Yes.
Oh,
Now
I'm excited.
Now I'm
to hear what
interested.
this is.
I'm excited. I am too.
You, out of the blue, mentioned, I would say, a month and a half into your internship
Oh,
that
here
you
we go.
had. Here we go. Is right. That you had a young lady coming in to town to shadow you
Oh, boy.
as an intern at Podcast Village.
I remember this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I said, well, he's using all the correct corporate terminology. Shadowing is correct. This
Right.
would make sense.
But he sure shared it a lot,
And
as I
then-
recall.
And then she walked in, and we said, well, now we know what's going on because she was, with all due respect, a very attractive young lady. And
I'll say it. Knockout.
thank you.
Oh, don't.
gross.
So what you're saying,
Don't.
Oscar, is I got game, is what you're
No,
talking
I'm
about.
saying
Oh, that was an attempt to
I'm-
shift the conversation
I'm
that
saying
failed.
Is that you, when you left us, had, if I'm not mistaken, a relationship with this young lady that you had
He's shaking his
shadowing
head.
you.
He's shaking his head.
I didn't ever had a relationship with her.
Okay.
No, that wasn't me.
Does she go to your school?
Yeah, she goes to Ohio University. Yeah.
Do you stay in
We keep in
contact
touch.
with her
We
at
keep
Ohio
in touch.
University?
Was there ever an opportunity where you said, hey, would you like to continue shadowing me to a nightclub? And she said no?
You know what?
Well-
You're not qualified for this
Yeah,
discussion.
you're
You have to
ruining
stop.
it. Nobody
You have
even
to-
calls
this
it a
is-
nightclub anymore.
My new request in 2020, you will recuse yourself from certain discussions.
Yeah, no,
All
no,
right?
no.
Is this one of them?
Yes, please.
You can pepper it with your snappy repartee.
shtick.
It's just the questions are going to disturb some members.
I
of our
understand. And I
audience.
apologize for using the phrase nightclub.
Please, thank you very much. We're going to the Regal
Nightclub.
Beagle tonight.
Nightclub.
That's more of a
So
bar.
when you go into the Copacabana, so at Ohio University,
Yes.
which is when you the current state of relationships with Ethan and some of his fellow members of the student body, is there a special someone at Ohio University for you?
My work. That's my special somebody.
Oh my God! Wow, his
Damn!
work. His work is his mistress.
So
his work is his mistress.
Now who's
Yes.
saying he's got game?
Okay, now,
I mean,
Ethan. You
Can't have it both ways, Ethan.
This
Sorry,
is
buddy.
the tree of trust.
tree of trust.
Okay. Are you in a relationship? Have you gotten out of a relationship? Are you looking for a relationship? How hard is it to date now in, I would say, college in 2020?
Those are two very different questions, but I'll give you both answers.
Thank you.
At Ohio University, in my time, I have never been in a relationship.
Okay.
And how hard it is with my profession and knowing that I'm going to be leaving in a year and a half and having to find a job wherever it may be on the country.
Yeah.
It's extremely difficult to find somebody to.
Because you're just working.
Oh, you know what?
Grind, don't stop.
Seriously, if I'm listening to somebody who's saying that, I would love to hear that.
Yeah.
I'm not. This is the dad. This is the dad stepping in right now.
Yeah, but you know what, Mike? When
I'm
you're
not. There will be no more ball busting of Ethan after that. Okay. I'm very happy. That is what Oscar, do you agree?
That's the right answer.
Rob,
That is
wouldn't
the
that
right
be
answer.
nice to hear if it was Julia and you heard on a show a guy that was still in college that was making that kind of comment? There's no time for it. I got to Here's what I love. I love the plan.
Yes.
I'm all
Yeah.
about the plan. The plan is important to me. That's the one thing.
Caleb's
that,
not a big planner.
Well, see that,
Wow.
but and really,
You're right, though. You know,
I love the planning.
Doff my cap to him.
I tell my my
This is
kids that,
fantastic.
too.
So at your age, you're and Caleb, just for context, Ethan, I know you don't get a chance to listen to every TMOS program.
He
Caleb
just listens to the Caleb episodes.
Caleb is Rob's daughter's
boyfriend.
ex-boyfriend now.
Ex-boyfriend.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Although
Okay.
I've seen a lot of him over the break.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, we've never done. Are we due for a deeper dive on that? Maybe a little
Sure.
bit.
Yeah,
just
So
why
find out
not?
what's
what
going on.
you're saying,
The
Ethan,
food keeps disappearing, so let's talk about it.
is you're laying out a resume. You're not concerned with laying pipe.
No, I mean, wait, hold on. Nah, we're
Laying
not
pipe
going to
is
do
an
all
old.
that.
it's-
I'm
that-
sorry.
That is an old.
So-
Yeah, you lay
expression,
pipe at
too.
a nightclub, don't you?
Wait, no,
That's where you're showing your years there, pal. You're showing your years. Well,
So-
then let me give you. Can I ask you a generic question?
Of course.
All right.
Of course,
If
Mike.
one was to, and by the way, as the years pass, I become less and less skilled at this line of questioning and preventing somebody from getting pissed off at me. But I'm
Mike,
gonna
we're
try,
just doing
okay?
shtick. You've
That's
been
all.
married
Just
3
doing
times.
on the
shtick.
show for a reason.
Yeah, this
This
is
is
comedy
back
show.
You went to
God, I think,
college?
I think back
show.
in the 1980s, I could have asked this kid 50 questions that would have been highly entertaining and it would have been great.
But now, we're
Ethan?
respectful.
Ethan. So if one was to give a number, no, can't do that because grading isn't going to be a problem.
Right.
Do you want to talk to me about it, and then I'll let you know if it's
No, I
okay?
can handle it.
Okay.
I'm not that. The
He's putting his big
overall,
boy cap on right now.
if you were to just on general attractiveness of the student body, if you were going to say it's very, very, we have a very
Objectifying.
attractive student body. We are objectifying men and women.
Oh, yes,
Because you
yes,
have
both
to
men and
include-
women. How
you have
hot
to
are the
include
dudes,
everybody.
and how hot are the girls?
We got some pretty good looking both spectrums. I mean, I'm not going to cap
Okay.
on it. I think we got a good
You're not going to
spectrum.
what on it?
Cap, no cap.
No, you're not
He's
going to
putting
cap
his
on
big-
it, Mike.
No
Not a-
cap on it.
No.
All right,
No
all right.
cap.
That's good. That's good. So I mean, sometimes but you don't have time for that.
No.
You don't have time.
No.
for that.
I mean,
That's it.
I'm not gonna foresay that if a young lady would to come and bless my life, that I wouldn't be open to it. But I am more focused on getting my job right at this
Yeah,
point.
built
Are
a
you-
building on a foundation of sand right there. It all went away.
Are you all? Are you at all interested into older women?
Older women,
Yeah.
I mean,
Like a
when
professor?
when I get into the industry, they're gonna be older women. So yes, I'm interested.
Okay. I didn't know.
Do you know? I have had interns, and this is a true story. I have had interns that have gone on to success in various businesses. I have gone on to have interns that have produced Hollywood,
Television shows,
television
movies.
programs.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Emmy Award-
have
literal
been on,
Emmy Award winners.
Emmy Award winners. I don't say this because I just when you guys are young and you're here, I get a vibe off of Ethan that with his serious mindedness, and it's always if somebody was to ask me how do you
Focus.
describe Ethan, I would say serious minded. He's one of the more serious minded. He gets the joke and he comes in and he can have fun, but he's serious minded. I think this is a kid whose name we're going to hear about
Yeah.
down the road.
Yeah.
So when you would be inclined to distance yourself from us in the future when you achieve greater success than any of us,
We would understand.
Yeah.
you know, you could just come back. We don't have to put you on the air, but just, say, yes, you were right.
Yep.
Let me know. We'll keep tabs on you and let you know what's going on because I like the answers. How is your lovely mom doing? How's she
She's doing great. Well, Mike, I want to say one thing. I'm going to make sure that I prove you right. Let's make sure that's
All right, that's good. I love that attitude. That's fantastic.
Perfect. That's the only way,
All right.
man. The
All right,
only way.
Give Mr. Santana back his chair. Get the hell out of here. Thank you
you
very
know
much.
what? I'm
I
outta
appreciate that. Thank you very much. It's a good way to end. Do you feel that from this kid? I do.
I do.
I get Oscar. I know you do. I can tell when you when you make a point to get an intern to come in here. That's pretty awesome. I like that. Is that playing somebody out?
Yes,
or
it's a transition.
That's transition music. I like that too.
I'm back.
Yeah, there he
You
is.
You get that vibe on that kid. I do.
Yeah.
Every time I talk to him,
he's
very serious-minded.
I remember, and this is a little inside baseball, but I'm sure most of our audience has been through this at one way or another. When you vouch for somebody, and that's how Ethan got here. He connected with our friend Clinton Yates from ESPN. His mother did, and Clinton, because he has a reputation, he said, "Look, I'm sure he's a nice young man. I haven't met him yet, but if you're his mom, but I have to tell you that if this goes sideways, like I will let everybody know, and this is my reputation that just we have to double down that who like I'm presenting someone to."
And it's the same thing that intern Mac's mother did when he came in. I'll tell you what. Like worried he's going to flame out here? He can flame out here. We'll just use him more on the air.
That's right.
So-
Exactly.
So when
Take your pills, dear.
when we first met Ethan, he, like everybody else, is a little shy, but also very confident. And some people just get it. They get it, and they just fit
Yeah, he
in,
gets
and
the
then you
joke.
see it.
That's
And-
why
and he
when they
gets
come
it.
back and our interns visit us, I think that's awesome. So way to go, Ethan.
and way to go, Toddy.
Now, stop picking on Toddy, all right? He's the captain now.
I know. I just want to say hi to him because he is the most consistent for notifying me that are there any openings there? And I say, you know
okay.
what?
All right, well.
I'll let you know, Toddy.
You never know.
I
You
will
never
let
know.
you know.
Well,
You
the
never,
soft-
Mike. You never
Mike,
do.
The soft skills count as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Very, very important. All right,
Ethan
so
was
we
not
have
a big starer.
a new decade, Rob, a new decade. And Rob decided that he wanted to talk. We didn't do this at the end of 2019.
No, we did not.
But we thought it would be fun on the bonus show to do it at the beginning of 2020 to kind of review where we've been and what's happened and where we're going. Maybe those pesky resolutions, which I'm a big believer in. But and then if we have enough time at the end of the show, we'll discuss Pony's weird apartment.
Yes,
So
please.
what were your plans for this?
Well,
this
first
opening
of all,
bonus show of 2020.
First of all, what we have to do is we have to put aside the stupid argument as to whether or not we started a new decade or we didn't because the year ends in a zero and there was no
we
new
started
zero.
a new decade. There is no argument.
Right. So we have to assume that it's a new decade. Well, if you go back 10 years, 10 years ago, we had just begun this podcast. We were like on episode 9 by the time that the decade rolled around because our first episode was December 17th. December 7th of 2009. So as we greeted the new decade, this podcast was being born. As we look over the past decade, what we're looking at is the life of this podcast, the life of this radio show. So that 10-year period that everyone's talking about, within a few days, that's the life of our radio show.
Wow.
How about that?
I had not thought about it. That's actually a little depressing.
No, it's not. It's pretty good.
No?
Because think of where we were 10 years ago and the strides we've made.
Do you know what happens when you age? And I think
I do.
both of you will figure this out. One of the things that happens is
ED?
time becomes time. Because I was I went to my doctor and told him that I had to shake too many times, and he gave me something that I'm experiencing something that I remember from my teenage years.
Oh, really?
Vibrating car, waking up in the morning. Well,
my
hello.
God.
Well, hello.
Wow.
But anyway, no, but let me
I was
just say
like,
this.
oh, not again.
At least he's not going
Time-
to roll out of bed.
Time becomes less of a thing.
In
The
what
older
way?
you get.
What do you mean?
In that I'm not good at remembering years and what happened in what year. It's just time is just kind of there, and you want to slow it down. That's really where
I can
where
agree
you're-
with you
you're
there.
at with it.
Sweet.
I'm having
I
a hard
used
time
to know-
putting stuff on like to attach. I think it has to do with the way pop culture has exploded and gone in every direction.
How so?
If you go back, say, 20 years ago, or 30 years ago, when you were a top 40 disc jockey, and you were providing, the top 40 music that the bulk of America was listening to, it allowed you to associate times and events with certain songs. Also, there was less
You can still
television.
do that now.
But it's so spread out and watered down. There was 3 television channels then.
It is spread out. It is spread out.
And so
Yeah,
you
but
don't.
that's
I don't
not
think you have
making
any.
life go by faster.
No, I'm saying it's making it hard to associate years and times with events.
Okay.
That might have something to do with it.
Fair.
But I always was bad at like if you told me what year, I would remember when the Don and Mike show started, which was like 85, 86.
85.
But I wouldn't remember when I was like doing a certain bit. I mean,
well,
it was just
that's the radio guy in us.
that it's just you just don't have a sense of it.
Because
you don't have a sense of it.
Are on there for 4 hours a day, sometimes longer depending on the day, and someone will mention to you a bit at an appearance or a bar. Like, remember when you did this, and you would almost swear it wasn't you, but you internally you're like, that didn't happen.
Right.
Because you
But
do
that
so
didn't
ma-
happen?
you do so many
When did
things
that happen?
and so many of them are similar. They almost cancel each other out sometimes.
Look, I haven't been in the grind as long as you guys have. Like, I haven't been in the game as far as broadcast, terrestrial broadcasting. So much went on when you were on the air. You were in New York, you're in D.C., you're going back and forth. I'm listening at that point. And still to this day, there are times where, Chad and I's career, which is shorter than collectively we're talking about now, where we'll argue about the city we were in or where I was when something happened. And I'm like, I was there.
Right.
But I don't remember.
For example,
I
let
still
me do
think
this.
of the 1990s as being not that long ago.
I know.
And it's a million years ago, and I still think of the 1990s
I was in high
as
school.
We are as close to 1990 as we are to the year 2050.
yeah. And by the way, having gotten a mortgage. Oh, by the way, thank you, Cornerstone First Financial.
It worked out.
For the seamless,
Boom, bam.
effortless,
Boom, bam.
incredible work. And I have to say thank you to them. Will you pass that along to them personally?
Mike,
for me?
I'll walk downstairs
Please
and say,
go down
we need an
and-
extra
and-
$850.
And I would like to say to Mark Livingstone,
Yeah.
put an extra $850 in there. Great idea. Mark Livingstone and company down at Cornerstone First Financial. Thank you for helping
Really
me.
good
I look
guys.
forward
Good
to sharing with our listeners personal experience that I had with a wonderful company that we do business with. So I just wanted to pass that along. But when you look at that on a mortgage statement, which is a 30-year mortgage
30 years, yeah.
in 2020, and you say 2050, and I looked at it, I said, hey, I made Carla really super sad. I said, hey, this is the first one of these I've signed where I'm probably not going to be around when it's over. It was just pretty funny, too. I do that. But no, I plan to be
And you planned on paying it off
mid-90s
early.
guy.
He's like, we're going to have to
Pay it off
refi
early.
in 10 years.
Well, here's
Time doesn't, it's just weird to me. It
this
doesn't make a
is
lot of
what's
sense.
wild to me is that I am, because I am a person of the past, I know years of songs and movies that are just really locked in my brain.
what does a person of the past mean?
I mean, I tend to focus on the past. That's why I do the,
Old soul.
You're
He's an old
an
soul.
old soul. Okay.
yeah, like Nostalgia Corner. It is a
I thought you were
perfect
just
fit for
talking
me.
like
He loves old movies.
Like
which
like
I'm
a
getting more-
DeLorean, like you
that I
came
get more into. My
back
son is now into old movies, so
future.
we're kind of moving in that
Does he do
direction.
okay with black and white?
He does.
That's
He does,
awesome. That's
absolutely,
great.
yeah.
That's great.
He's fascinated by it.
But today, this totally blew my mind as I'm thinking about all the stuff we've done over the last 10 years. I had to go to my Facebook timeline to remember what year something happened. How long ago do you think we went to Las Vegas for CES?
Oh, 6 years ago.
See, I was thinking it was like 7 or 8, but it is 6 years ago. It's exactly right. But it seems like an eternity ago
Young
to me that we were there.
man's brain.
Yes, of course.
There you go. You got that 6 years ago. I'd love to go back to that. That was
Yeah.
That's great. Like after the holidays.
Did you
to have
see
a
what
trip.
came out this week?
No.
Oh my! Uber at CES
the flying car.
flying car
Yep.
that they project to be out by 2026 on the market. It'll pick you up. It'll go up to 65.
But here's the problem.
Wait. It'd go to about 65 miles an hour, or 6,500 feet.
No, it'll go 65 miles away from your location.
Yeah. I have the
So you
specs
can
on
actually
it here.
travel.
The speed is, hold on, I think it was in the last paragraph. It was going to be able to go 65 on a flight. The problem is it will fly at 1,000 to 2,000 feet above the ground at 180 miles an hour. But the problem is it's built by Hyundai. You really want to?
Oh God, you are such a. That is just so old man right there. Hyundai is doing fine.
I know,
right?
and I drive a Kia, but I'm not sure that I want Kia to be the people that are building the first flying car. I think, wouldn't you be more happy if it was perhaps coming from Mercedes?
No. I would be very, very.
No, no,
Nazi.
no.
I'm fine with that. The Asians can
I believe
develop technology.
Daimler Benz might have made the engines for the Hindenburg.
Okay,
He's correct.
Is this real?
This is real.
It's very real.
It's real.
This is George fucking Jetson real.
Yes, and it looks like a Jetsons car.
Yep.
And this will change the world, perhaps, right?
Well, the thing, it scares me because at least
There's a weight limit. We know that.
Well, so I'm out already. But what scares me is that the one thing that sort of keeps traffic in line in the DC area is the roads. You don't see people like saying,
yeah, and how's that working?
It sucks, but at least we don't have people saying, oh, well, I can get there quicker if I drive on the grass. No, we're going to have people going all over the place with no moderation.
No, we're not. It's not going to be
These
done
are going
that
to
way.
fly themselves through a computer. You jump in. You're not flying the plane.
I mean,
You're just
I would
getting a
think
ride.
if I was like a new 23-year-old entering the workforce, I would think that was one of the most exciting. And I lived in Front Royal.
Ethan could fly.
I mean, it would be great.
You could catch a ride at an affordable price because right now that type of transportation is meant for the tycoons of the world that have a private helicopter that hop from building to building to building to building to city to city to city. This is going to mean so much. And by the way, this is going to happen within our lifetime.
Okay.
As sooner than we think, within this decade. And what I think it's going to unlock is this layer of what I would call executive efficiency, where you don't have to rot in traffic for 4 hours to have a face-to-face meeting, and this telepresence isn't good enough, or go on site to a construction site that you're in charge of, and get there. By the time you get there, you got to head back because you're not going to get home till 10 p.m. at night.
How do you wrap your head around the fact they're going to control the traffic, though?
Right now, you could buy a drone at the Apple Store or Best Buy or Walmart or Target, and it has so many mechanisms that this car has,
right,
where it doesn't let you crash into things.
Sensors, like cars have sensors
it
now where you're not
literally
allowed to.
navigates itself if you'd like to.
It's to me, you mentioned George Jetson, and I envision a land with many of these in the air, because if it's going to happen, it's going to happen, and if it's going to be a success, it'll be a success big time. It will be problematic. I predict that it will be problematic.
Why are you so negative on progress?
I'm not negative on progress.
I mean, I understand the looking back and the retro, but I mean, why does it scare you?
Because it just seems that there's no way to regulate the traffic about it.
There is.
It's actually
How do you think
easier.
they regulate? If we had gone with your theory, there would not be aircraft. You're going to have control centers. You're going to have air traffic control for these units. It's
All right.
going to happen.
Well, you see, this is the first time you've mentioned air traffic control. Now you see that's something. But you see, airlines are different.
But the sensors themselves will be designated areas
cars.
That will be they will
Safer
not be able
vehicles.
to go out of that area. You're not going to be able to do it.
This may not be viable in our immediate DC area for the no-fly zone.
Okay.
But around the country, it will be. And
You're aware that when you look at an air traffic control center, that there are highways in the sky.
Of course.
That these planes we travel on have designated airspace that they all, like I can see it when, specifically up in Maine, where we see a lot of transatlantic flights coming in at a particular time.
I'm aware of this. I'm aware of this, but
Life
also
is
you're
a
adding.
highway.
Yes, I want to ride it all night long. But the thing is, you've got a finite amount of space, and you're introducing a lot of more traffic into it. I'm just saying, let's watch and see.
Let me add this.
All right.
And maybe I was too bullish within this decade, but analysts at Morgan Stanley say that they expect urban air taxis to be common by 2040, with the global market expected to be a 1.4 trillion or 2.9 trillion in size by then. And at least 20 companies right now are working to that conclusion, including startups, the aircraft manufacturers Boeing and Airbus, and automakers like Toyota and Porsche are working on this technology.
Also Nabisco, when they'll have the best snacks.
But if Boeing and Airbus are already working on this, that's what they do.
This is what they do.
You know, I got to tell you something, Rob. This is absolutely true. I think it's real important to realize life is a highway.
Yes.
And the Skyway is going to be open my way. And I'm going to get on a flying car when I'm 70 years old. And I'm really excited about that. I think it's fantastic. And I say to everybody, if you can't lead, get out of the way. Life moves on. The future is now. My name's Mike O'Mara. Hey, Uber, I want to hop in one of your George Jetson fucking cars. Thank you.
Well, I look forward to seeing what happens, but I know if it takes till 2040, they better have a flying hearse for me.
It's very cool. I don't think you should be afraid of it. I trust this technology.
It'll be viable within this decade.
All right.
They project.
It intrigued me enough to do the research.
They project that the early test markets will happen within the next 3 years.
Okay.
But it'll be ubiquitous by 2040.
But there's going to be an older drone, though, that has its turn signal left on. You know that'll happen.
You know what I like? You talk about fear of flying. I like the idea of 1,000 to 2,000 feet. I love being.
Mike? I'm sorry for cutting you off. I get this is tech. I get excited.
He does get
I know. I'm excited about this too. I think it's cool.
There's a picture that passed recently within the last 2 years that had his own little plane that was a car that turns into a plane.
Right.
Do you remember? It's a Cy Young
It's
winner.
the guy that bought the farm, right? It's the guy that died?
Yes. But
he died like in Florida, didn't he? Crash in Florida? Didn't he crash in Florida?
So
I forgot what his name was.
Pony, if you don't mind looking, and let's figure. Hold on, I think we're
It's a Roy Halladay.
Okay, Roy Halladay.
Right.
Roy Halladay retired, Cy Young Award winner. People think, why the F do these guys need planes? Why did JFK need to learn how to fly a plane? Like, you think about all these people. Why do you need this? What intrigued me about Roy Halladay is the plane that he perished in was that plane was a car to plane conversion, where you could tow that to a boat dock and then roll it right into the water, and then you could fly it.
And it's Roy Halladay.
I'm sorry. Halladay. My apologies. And that plane is as close to this Uber plane that I have ever seen. The only difference is that plane did not fly itself.
Right.
This Uber taxi flies itself. And the plane that Roy Halladay perished in really flew and drove like a car. It blows my mind. I watched multiple YouTube videos.
And I also think that you're going to have, ultimately, it could be safer, faster than self-driving automobiles.
Yeah.
I really do believe that, simply because of the nature
So
of the beast.
if you put them side by side with a self-driving automobile as a self-driving drone type plane, I would say that's very likely because there's less things that.
What about a?
By the way, it was called the Icon A5 Founders Edition aircraft.
Yes.
He was piloting, crashed in the Gulf of Mexico in 2017, so not that long ago.
Right.
They have a new model out that hopefully doesn't do that anymore. I don't know what the
crash?
the final NTSB investigation was for that, but the idea is you could fly low.
Okay.
And you could go a pretty solid distance without having to worry about too much.
Right. So this is one of the big things at the CES this year is this. Now,
He was also impaired. It should be mentioned.
I didn't know that.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Following the release of an autopsy report by Pinellas County, medical examiners USA Today wrote that Halladay had high concentrations of morphine and amphetamine, along with the presence of an antidepressant, the sleeping aid Zolapem, sold under the brand name Ambien, and trace amounts of alcohol in his blood.
Oh, no.
According to forensic pathologist Brett Hartman, he had a drug combination similar to a speedball. He was impaired by these drugs. It was definitely not safe for him to fly an airplane.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
That I didn't know. I didn't remember that. Yeah. Do you remember
No,
that?
I don't
remember that.
That must have been
Happened
well
a while
after
ago.
the fact that they brought that out.
Yeah.
So are you? Have you seen any other things that they're spotlighting at CES this year? Because there's two things that I thought were pretty interesting.
They have a Moen faucet, Mike, that I think would intrigue you as you're a man that likes to get in the kitchen and cook sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
The Moen faucet is a smart faucet. And have you ever been in a position where you need an exact ounce of liquid or water or 2 tablespoons.
Sure, yeah.
You would just ask the smart faucet for the exact amount of water you need.
There you go.
That's
Another
cool.
good thing from CES.
I like that.
And it dispenses that amount, hot or cold. And in the higher end, models, you could ask for the temperature of the water as well. There is another device, which is the smart shower head.
I've seen this.
Which is a, right now, Alexa-based smart shower head where you could play music or time out your shower or tell Alexa all the commands you currently do.
There's the first one I'm nixing. Nope, don't need that. Nope. You know what I need? I need my old modified Speakman. Blow my head off. That's what I want. I don't want a smart shower head. I want a shower head to give me water pressure. And that's a big deal in my mind right now because I'm rolling over to my new digs, and I want to make sure that I get my shower head on there. And
I wonder if you
blows
could
me
tell
out of the
Alexa
water.
to increase the pressure.
Well, what if you could also?
Oh, yeah.
What about this? You're down.
Alexa, take the first layer of skin off my forehead.
And Alexa, switch to massage again, please.
Mike,
Oh, God.
you're coming off. You're coming off.
Alexa, please use the bidet function.
You're on the way.
I'm ready, Alexa.
You're on your way home from.
In 3,
2.
1.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Oh.
You're racing home. You got to catch a quick shower. You can just say to Alexa, turn on the shower, degrees, boom. It's already running when you get there.
Oh, so you can order through your phone like from away.
You can do whatever you
That's cool. That's cool.
I love the faucet you can talk to, though. That measures stuff out there. But no, it's all great. It's all good.
You
want
wanna
to
hear
being
about-
out there?
you
You got
wanna-
to go out there again sometime.
I'd love to go out.
You want to
it's
hear
fun.
about the sexy side of CES?
Yes.
Okay, last year they gave an award to a massager that they rescinded the award because they thought it was inappropriate.
Yeah.
And
Because they didn't want to have it around there. I've seen this one. This is the one that looks like an alien pod.
Yeah,
right?
a little bit.
This is the one that's got it finds the G spot and it sucks on the other part.
Yeah, the company was kicked out of the show last year, but she is back at CES this year. They revisited the design. They had her back, and they have the $3 million of products sold within 5 weeks.
Let me see it.
Thanks to their CES
see it.
involvement.
Take a peek at that.
See if
Take a
this
peek at
arrived
that.
on my doorstep.
And one of the Magic 3. But
You're
Mike,
never home.
this is the one that I find the most
Oh, this actually looks like you would do something.
surprising. The people at CES are calling it the Taint Band-Aid. And what it is a small applicator, sort of about the size of a Band-Aid that a man puts on his, I believe they call it the perineum.
Right.
And
What's a perineum?
that is your
It's
taint.
between your dookie hole
And your balls.
Thank you for the medical explanation.
Hello, I'm Dr. Mike O'Mara. We are going to be now. You're going to feel slight pressure between your dookie hole and your ball sack.
Hey, Alexa, I need you to change the water pressure for my perineum. Oh! Anyway,
Alexa, I'm ready.
what happens is a man can use this Band-Aid that has small electric pulses to help him last longer in the bedroom.
The use of neuromodulation is a common modality,
you know what?
proven to treat many different medical conditions. The design of the Mirari device is to use a small amount of energy to confuse the normal nerve function in the pelvic region.
The Mirari device is designed to be
Stop it right there. If you are
I
spending
didn't realize that Gene
money,
Simmons was the doctor.
and by the way, in my physical condition, I wouldn't be able to apply it. So
you need a partner.
You'd have to squat
I
on
need
it
a
on
partner.
stool.
I'm a perfectly fit guy. Probably will have trouble.
It's a
applying it.
Mirari.
I think Mirari is what they said.
that is similar in size to a large Band-Aid. The circuitry in the device will deliver battery-powered pulses. The product will be a single-use disposable patch that is worn in the perineal
gross.
area.
I love the fact that
So
it's
to
single-
last longer, so you don't like.
So you last as long as a Ferrari, Mike.
Yeah, you put the electric Band-Aid between your ass cheeks, and it confuses the neurons, and you can go all night.
Can you imagine?
that is not. I don't see. Come on, that's thinking too
if
much
I was
about the
if I
act.
was the partner,
Yes.
a guy or a girl,
Howdy, partner.
and I was like, "Hey, what are you doing? It looks like you're doing yoga." No,
Right.
I think I got it in the right place. The odds of putting it in the wrong place are high.
And also,
And I
when
will
they
say
see
this,
it, they're
I-
going to say, "What did
yes.
you cut yourself?"
I will say, I will say, at my age, for me, not lasting is an accomplishment.
I get a thank you note.
Really, it's ridiculous.
Thank you.
I mean, if I'm like, oh, that was quick. Hey, what happened?
Yeah.
Normally it takes a little longer now. Jeez. I think sometimes sexual obsession, like I'm all for the massager, right?
Yeah,
I think massager is
Why
for a
not?
lady in her private time. That's very, and I saw this thing with its little, its little, but I was wondering, is it adjustable? Does it have a
you
spring
can put it
mount?
on your nipples, I think, if you wanted to.
It looked like to me that it is. There are several models, so it might come in different sizes.
It's exciting.
And I don't know about the adjustments. I would have to check
now,
the manual.
Here's what's important. I have not broached this subject.
Okay.
But moving to a new domicile, I will require this assistance. I need to know with CES I'm trying to go cost effective. You had mentioned to me that there are large screens out there that now are cheaper than they've ever been.
Oh,
yes.
They're floating around.
100%.
I will need to tap your knowledge of that because that is something I'm going to be immediately lobbying for. Like as soon as this weekend.
Okay.
Now, when you talk about this, and I was looking at some of the stuff at CS, they've brought back the big 250-inch rollable television that they can roll up and put behind the
That's cost prohibitive.
That is cost prohibitive. But when you see, say, at a Walmart,
And I don't need that, for Christ's sake.
We can afford it.
But you see like the 75 or 80-inch, and it's like under $1,000 now.
Yes.
And they are absolutely affordable. Do we have to be brand aware? Is there a problem? Is there sort of a gray area we should avoid? Because you know what?
Well, that's really the Band-Aid. That's the gray area you want to avoid.
The price begins to escalate crazily at about 65 inches. That's sort of the cutoff.
That's where they jump?
Yeah, but as someone who has had a 73-inch television, that extra inch is great.
Look, for I think Christmas, 75 inches. We purchased one for
your rich brother, right?
$750. Purchased it for my parents.
And what was the brand?
75 inches were $750.
Something like that. Yeah, it was definitely
$10
way under
Mike,
$1,000.
$10 an inch.
Way under $1,000. But it was
Mitsubaki or
no, it was a Christmas sale.
Was it a Hinsei or something?
No.
Shit televisions.
Emerson.
It was an LG. Solid television.
Okay, that's
Solid
reliable.
television.
A name you've heard of, sure.
Now
I'm looking forward to that. I'll be like all those guys that go to the box
Mike,
store. And
I'm going to ask you this question, and I'm going to ask you to buy it through our shopping portal because that would really help us.
Right.
Okay.
Do you notice when you have a deep black?
Always color with him
on your screens. Like, do you have, like, when you watch a television, are you a picky consumer where if the blacks aren't deep enough, you don't have a good enough television screen?
No.
If that's the case, you have so many different options.
You have many options.
All right. Okay.
But you know what?
I'm
That's tough for me
Okay.
because that becomes very important when you watch black and white movies. It really, really does. Honestly, it does. That's something that I looked into.
And you live on TCM.
TCM is my channel.
Hey,
That's
what's the deal with the Ben Mankiewicz?
I used to not like him. I think he's pretty
a little
good.
Smarmy.
He
fuck,
is a little
isn't
bit,
he?
but he
Come
comes
on.
from Hollywood. He comes from Hollywood royalty.
Maybe he'll abdicate.
The studio owners, right?
No, writers and producers, the Mankiewicz brothers. He's
Really?
I think that's a grandfather and a great uncle of his. He knows his stuff. He is smarmy.
Great wine.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's Manischewitz.
Well, they do have the Turner Classic Movies wine. I thought that's what you were talking
I've seen
about.
that.
Yeah.
Would you ever participate? By the way, we're talking about Turner Classic Movies.
256.
Would you ever participate in some of those promotions about going out to Hollywood to Grauman's Chinese Theater?
I would
and
love
going to a film
I would
festival?
love to do that once. I would.
You ought to start your own.
But it's sad.
You could do your own in DC. We could use that.
Oh, yeah.
We could use that as a fundraiser for the show.
We just come to my
I'd
house.
come in for that. No, just go to. We get a theater and we show some movies.
It's I think that Turner Classic Movies took a tremendous hit when Robert Osborne died because he lived through that era and he actually knew a lot of the stars. And it's a tough replacement because everyone who would be perfect as a host on that channel has aged out and died. They're all dead. But they've been around long enough that they have some archival footage of great interviews. I think Ben Mankiewicz is really good. The guy to hate is the guy that hosts Noir Alley. That guy's a dick.
Okay, well, now we're getting into a deep dive. I know the guy you're talking about, though.
But he's a dick, though, right?
So where we've been, we look forward to great things in 2020.
Yes.
What else did you want to do with the resolutions? Did you want to do that?
Yeah,
what do you want to do?
How much time do we have?
We have about 7 minutes.
Oh, resolutions are great.
But I wanted to get Pony's weird apartment too, so we've got
okay.
more.
Well, I have 2 quick resolutions that I'll start the ball rolling with,
and
they
then we'll
are
get
fast.
Pony's apartment.
One is that you mentioned yesterday, and I already had it on my mind because I did more of it over the holidays. I want to see more movies in the theater because every time I make myself go to do this, I never regret it. Yeah. I always enjoy it. It's a hassle, and you know you got to work on their time, but that's great. But also this year, I want to learn video production here at Podcast Village because I did learn video in college when it was 3/4-inch tape. I know the rudiments of it. I just got to learn the new stuff. And I think audio is the basis of good video. Audio is sort of my baby, so I want to attach pictures to it. So at this time next year, I want to be running some video for these guys here.
Mike, what do you think?
I think that for 2020, I know it sounds trite. I know it sounds like what everybody says. I'm not worried about the weight nearly as much as I'm approaching my weight loss this year and trying to get some pounds off as a conditioning factor to play my favorite sport. I believe that if I'm able to successfully get out more often and do things besides golf, and I'm talking, it can be anything from walking to riding a bike. That is, I'm not even going to say there's a number. I'm not going to say what food is coming into my mouth. I'm talking about physically active. Because even if I lose a little weight and I get out and I'm moving more, that's what I want. My number one resolution is to move more. My next resolution is to help this show bring in more to keep us all chugging and keep us all going and doing whatever I can on my end to make that happen, to come up with creative ideas, to come up with creative ideas for the show.
How about just coming up sometime to the studio?
If you think that would put dollars in the coffers, I will do whatever's necessary.
It would.
I think I think that that's a wonderful idea, and that very well might happen.
To drive up here would be great.
Thank you. You know what? I think really, I think it would be to hold certain members of the crew to a higher standard to make money for me. Thank you, Oscar.
Oscar, what do we said? You know what's up here in the studio?
What?
73-inch television that no one's using. No one's using it.
Come on up
and get it.
Some movies.
I'll drive up and I'll put it in the back of my car.
And there he goes.
Yes.
Not happening.
What about
he put
you?
a Band-Aid on his ass and off he went.
Mike, I would love to recalibrate my personal health because I feel like all these, as Mike says, busy. All this work has let that lapse. As I think at one point someone wrote in a kind but nasty comment about my appearance that said that I looked like I ate myself from 2 years ago. So I'd like to stop that from happening. The other is, Mike, why are you laughing? And then
it's a comedy show. That's why he's laughing.
The other is I hope by the end of 2020 we can somehow find it in I guess in our hearts to explain to Mrs. Maddie Masiello that when someone is on scholarship in a relationship, you don't keep a running tab of what they bought at Five Guys and who owes what. And maybe
this is a callback to a show that you weren't a part of, Mike.
She'll splurge once in a while because her poor boyfriend is just trying to get through school.
That's all.
Just trying to get to school.
You've met him, Mike.
Yes.
John Mack.
Is that a roundabout way of saying you need him to put up a little bit more?
No.
Is that what you're saying?
I need Maddie to spring for some takeout once in a while.
Yeah, loosen the rope a little
bit. And not
bit.
send her boyfriend a Venmo request for half of the takeout.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well.
What say you, Maddie?
That's not happening.
Keep in mind, he's still in her. Still in her for 3 pumpkins.
He's in the rears.
Yeah.
Really?
Rears, not the rears. The rears
Pony,
is the other Band-Aid.
We're going to have to talk about your apartment on the show tomorrow, the regular show. So that's what we're going to do.
Ethan,
I'm sorry,
thank you.
We talked about Pony Show. I just got the timeline way. I got to get in that habit, too. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the bonus show. We want to thank you for your incredible support, as usual. It's always wonderful to have you. And did we get all our resolutions? Mine was so bad.
Oh, yours isn't bad.
No, you're coming up here.
Yeah, and also...
no, I never fucking said that.
There was the unspoken resolution you made.
Right.
Which is to last longer.
To last longer with my special Dookie Hole ball sack Band-Aid.
Yeah, I'm not buying that Band-Aid. I'm not buying that thing until it's Bluetooth.
the dick taser.
So I can talk into my phone.
Did Pony say dick taser?
He did. That's why they love him at the apartment building.
That's my favorite Star Wars movie. Dick Taser. That's it for Rob Spiewak and Oscar Santana, Matty Masiello, Ponyboy Matt Bloom. Mike O'Mara saying so long, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Hey, I just wanted to take this time out to say thank you to all the people who purchase our bonus content. The Mike O'Mara Show bonus hours are a little extra something we do for you each and every week. And those that support us by purchasing our bonus show content really make the show fly. Thanks once again for supporting the Mike O'Mara Show bonus hour.
Hey, Apple. Apple. Hey. Hey, Apple. Hey.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
Rocky Road?
Oh, fudge.